I'm Bevan Walsh. We call ourselves Fagawi, and this is our 2007 Freightliner M2 ambulance conversion. We took a used ambulance, converted it to what we needed for just us. We've converted it to four-wheel drive, given ourselves 2 bedrooms, a sleeping space, and a bit of the interior and that we'll see before. We've done it I'll call it the lazy way. We've made the least amount of modifications we possibly can to get the effect we need. So basically, the reason we have four-wheel drive is not to go up any big, nasty trails. It's just to go down all sorts of tracks and to get the 100 yards past everybody else at the campground to the good spot. But to convert it to four-wheel drive, we replaced all the running gear with military stuff out of an MRAP. So we've got portal axles, planetary axles, 46-inch tyres, and yeah, it's all literally bomb-proof stuff. So that was the four-wheel drive conversion. It was physically difficult, not technically difficult. So we used all the existing suspension geometry, everything like that Freightliner designed, and just changed the axles and wheels. And trimmed a little bit of the body panels to keep it as surprisingly as low as possible to get the wheels and that under that we needed. One of the bonuses about, especially about the twin cab version of the truck, is we get a decent sized fuel tank. So this is a 90-gallon tank, 75 gallons of usable, and we get about 8 miles to the gallon. So, we get our 500-mile range reasonably well, and my bladder doesn't last that long, so that's good. A few things that we have done, just because of the height, is these motorcycle chain-based steps. So they're good for flexing back if you're going over anything. But the great part is that when you go to hop up, they don't flex backwards, so you don't rip the skin off your shins. Obviously a dual cab, but in the back seat area, a bit messy at the moment. But we've actually put a sleeper sofa in here to turn it into a second bedroom. This is where the grandkids and that get to sleep, or friends or drunks that we pick up along the road. Cab has air ride suspension, the rear suspension is air ride, so with the big tyres it actually smooths out a lot of the bumps and washboard that we have over here. So, storage, obviously ambulances come with a lot of storage. We have as you can see there, we got the second fridge, plenty of pull-out features. So again, outside storage is great. Inside storage is always better, but we have plenty of it. These ambulances are built very well. You can hear by the closing of the doors that they're solid. Another benefit of this version of the ambulance is it has these tank holders. It used to be scuba tanks. Again, outside storage, hoses, leads, and that includes the outside power outlet for the coffee machine. On the back here, this is a winch operated spare tyre carrier. We also carry a tricycle and an electric bike. That's our method of getting around, because you don't want to be using this as a daily driver or going and getting beer and ice. You don't want to use it for that. 8 miles to the gallon. All harbour freight winch lifted. So this is our, we call it the loo with the view. So I don't know if you know it, but loo's the Australian English version of toilet. We have a rain head shower, we have a handheld one, and a composting toilet. We also carry a ladder with us so that we can get in and out of this door. If we're down the beach or anything like that, we can actually enter the rig from this angle, and that allows us to wash the sand off, that sort of thing before we go inside. We have 2 10-gallon water tanks. These are potable water only, 20-gallon one just for redundancy. Only known quality water goes in there. That's what we drink. Diesel air heater, just for those times when, even though you say you're never going to go in the cold weather, you get stuck there. There's a 49-gallon water tank. That's our cooking and washing water. I'm okay with filling that up from a Mexican hose. That obviously the potable water I don't. And again, you do carry plenty of tools, especially with these bigger pieces of equipment. So that's the torque wrench for doing up the wheel lug nuts. So once you go to a vehicle this size, you tend to need a little bit more, bit heavier tooling. This is a 7 kilowatt diesel generator. I thought that was going to be a really good idea because we have the mini split on the back of the truck to mini split air conditioning. Reality is it's got about, in 7 years, it's got 50 something hours on it. So I think I've been carrying that around just for fun. And in here is the battery bank. Currently we only run these 4 Group 31 AGMs. That's what the ambulance came with. That is for the house and the truck. Okay, yeah, so excuse the mess, but basically this is the basic ambulance interior that it came with. We made minimal modifications where possible. Keep saying to everybody that it's because they make it so well and, you know, and that sort of thing, but the reality is I'm just lazy. I don't want to do anything if I don't have to. But so the major modifications we've made in here are we've cut out the entry to the shower toilet area. We pulled out the bench on this side. This is a Murphy bed, so full-size bed with a real domestic mattress in it, because I'm old and I creak a lot. All the cabinetry that is here is existing. We did expand out this cabinet here just to get a bigger fridge in there. And then that's basically the change. Oh, put a sink in. Sink and water system. That's basically the changes we've made inside. Except up here, this was originally the evaporator system for the inside air conditioning that ran off the engine. We're not going to be back here when the engine's running, so it was no use to us. So we now run the microwave, most important piece of gear on the whole truck, the espresso machine, and the ice maker for when we're down in Mexico because you can't trust the ice. We also have a 2800 watt inverter, a charger in behind here, and a bit of other gear in the dead space in behind there. But again, the storage in here is fantastic. Yeah, so another one of the bonuses of ambulances is they come with a really good wiring system. Sometimes too much, you know. Every foot along the cable, they've actually got the name of what it is, you know, right rear scene light, marked every foot along the cable. Obviously, you can tell the work that I did because it's not the work that the original guys did. The quality of their work is fabulous. So some people get ambulances, pull everything out of them, strip all the wiring out. Again, I leave as much as I can in there because I'm lazy, not because it's good stuff. I can't do the same quality. Yeah, so here's some of the specs for the vehicle, and if you want to follow us online on the builds we do, it's Fugawi, F-U-G-A-R-W-I, or just info@fugawi.com, and that'll get us.